good time. Ooh, time to get our craft on. Ooh, time to have fun. Ooh, time to feel good.
Hey Gifted Crafters, welcome back for another Saturday Crafternoon. I hope everyone is staying nice and warm this weekend, because I know I can tell from the chat a lot of people were talking about that freezing weather that they have and snow that's coming on your way. So it's a perfect day to be in the craft room, and we have so many things to talk about. So if you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Nancy with GiftsHQ, and I host these weekly live sessions to just talk about all things crafting, from knitting, crocheting, decoupage, embroidery, sewing, and just so much more. So if you are here for the first time, let us know in the chat, because we've got our little welcoming committee that will say hello to you, and I hope all our fellow crafters will welcome you aboard, because I know that this is the perfect place to get all kinds of tips, tricks, and ideas. So if you're new and you're just tuning in, welcome. Don't be shy. Go ahead and get into the chat, because this is certainly a session that you do not want to be shy on. So let me jump into the chat here and say hello to a couple of friends before I go any further. So I see Crafting with Robin. I see Donna Phillips, Faker McFake, Gail Moore. I see Jenny Owens, Joyce Adams, Judy Bauer, and Robin's Quilt Basket. Thanks again for tuning in and spending this time with me. I really, really appreciate it. It's always wonderful when people help to support the channel. I really, really enjoy that. Hey, Yvonne, thanks for joining. So this is kind of an exciting new session for us. So this is live number 123. And if you, someone who kind of just continually follows us along, you notice that I normally start with some trivia questions. Well, we announced last week we're going to kind of put a little pause on the trivia questions, because we got some other stuff that we want to do, like giveaways. And this is definitely one of them. So we're going to have, and I'd like to introduce to you guys, the GiftsHQ Scramble giveaway. So this is the first time that we are trying this out, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope you guys really love this and participate with me. So alrighty, I see a bunch of other people joining in. Thank you all for joining. This Crafty Patty, hey, hi Trisha, how are you? Thanks. Oh, Donna, it is your early birthday, so let's say a big happy birthday to Donna. It's a little bit early, but hey, happy birthday to you. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you have a fantastic time, because you know, you can celebrate. It doesn't have to be a birthday. It could be a birthday week or a birthday weekend, because you can spread it out as much as you want, because you know, it's your birthday. You can do whatever you want. You can cry if you want to, but in this channel we don't cry, we just have happy dances, right? So happy birthday to you, and all the other January birthdays that are out there. You know, let us know if you're a January birthday. Put it into the chat. I'd like to know if you can keep track of all those wonderful things. Okay, so I've got a few announcements to kind of go through. Mostly it is around the giveaway. So as I told you, we're going to be starting the GiftsHQ word scramble. Okay, and there's a list of the rules that are down in the video description. If you wanted to see those are all in there as required by YouTube. We've displayed all of the rules for you. Now, in order to go ahead and participate, we've got a couple things that you must do. Okay, one, you must be a subscriber. So if you haven't gone in there, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and go ahead and give me a like while you're at it. I really would appreciate it, because it really helps to support my channel. Okay. Also, now the giveaway, unfortunately, it's only for US only, please. Sorry, I'm not able to do international. It's just gonna be a little bit too difficult for the shipping and all that stuff. So, US only, please. You must subscribe. Go ahead and give a like if you can. And you must be present for the giveaway. So you must be present here on the live. So if you're watching on the replay, you got to be here on the live so that you can participate on the giveaway. But don't worry, we'll have all kinds of other stuff for you guys all. Okay, let's see. Now, in order to participate in the giveaway, you must type in the hashtag. Go into the chat right now. Go ahead and type in, you're going to need to type in hashtag GiftsHQ, all lowercase and all together. So go ahead and put that in so you can start registering yourself for the giveaway. It's hashtag GiftsHQ. And while you're at it, go ahead and grab a paper and pen, because you want to have that handy. Just kind of jot a couple of things down. So grab a paper and pen. I'll give you a couple of minutes to do that. And go ahead and type in GiftsHQ, all lowercase. Yes, I see Robin's Quilt Basket exactly the way you have it there. That's perfect. Go ahead and type that in. That'll register you for the giveaway, and we'll get started on that. Okay. Now, this is going to be a Scramble giveaway. So we're going to have to kind of give you a couple of words that you're going to see popping up. And what you're going to do is you're going to hear a little tone as I continue to kind of work through our craft that we're going to be doing live here, because we are going to do a little craft together. And you're going to hear a little tone, and you're going to see a scrambled word. That's kind of briefly, right? You're briefly going to see the word, so you may want to write it down, get your paper and pencil, write down the little scrambled letters that you see there. And then you're going to try to unscramble them, right? So it's going to be 3 words. It's 3 words that'll be popping in. You'll hear the little tone, and we'll be displaying the word. And then what you're going to do is try to unscramble that and jot that down on a little piece of paper, because towards the end we're going to pick a participant, and if you have all 3 words, you're going to get to win the prize. So I hope that you guys really like this. We're thinking really outside of the box, and we're trying to come up with all different giveaways and things that we can do to interact with you guys. So we're going to do the first word together. So I'm going to be giving you the first word. It's going to be a total of 3 words. We'll do the first one together. Okay, so are we ready to go ahead? Awesome. Okay, let's go ahead, and this is the little tone you're going to hear. And these are the first set of letters that you will need to unscramble. So right here, you've got L, Q, T, I, and U. If you unscramble that, you will have gotten the word quilt, right? Q-U-I-L-T. So that is the first word, and we gave that one to you. That's an easy one. So just jot down that word, right? Because you're gonna need that towards the end. If you are selected as a participant, you'll need to know all 3 words. So you'll have to unscramble the word, and if you get selected, then you will let us know what all 3 words are. And then you don't have to type it into the chat yet. We will be picking someone to participate in. We'll be picking that person, and then that person is the one that will have to type into the chat what the 3 words are. Now they must be all lowercase. So when you do type it in, just type it in all lowercase. We'll get to that. But don't forget, now in order to participate, hashtag GiftsHQ, all lowercase. So Carmen, I think Carmen, you went ahead and you put a capital G. Go ahead and type it in again with a lowercase g. So hashtag GiftsHQ, all lowercase letters. Awesome. Okay. All right. So that is the giveaway. Now, let me see if I missed anything here. At the end of the show, we're going to reveal who the participant's going to be, and we're going to reveal the prize. So hang on to that. So we're going to go ahead and get started on today's project, because we're already 15 minutes in it, and we've already gone through all the rules and the things for the giveaway, and I want to have time to do this little project. So we may go just a little bit over for the hour, because I had to kind of get through all the rules and get you guys going on the giveaway. So hang on with me, okay? Alrighty, so let's me get today's project because I want to show you what we're going to be doing. So give me 1 second and let me grab the project. Okay, so this is, whoop, kind of running away with it. Here we go. So I've got a little makeshift design board behind me, and it's just a piece of batting, and I just kind of pinned today's project. So this is a little wall hanging, or it could be a little table topper, you know, depending what you like to do. So this is something that I kind of just threw together, and it's really simple and easy to do. It's a really quick little Valentine's heart that you can put on your table, on your wall. Super, super cute and super easy to make. So I'm going to just kind of go over the block with you on how to make this. So it's 4 blocks put together. So the block itself is just this portion right here. This is the block right here. Okay, and then once you make 1 block, you just got to do it 3 more times. You got a total of 4. And then what I ended up doing is I put a little border going all the way around. So the border is about 2.5 inches. And then I went ahead and got, you know, 1/4 inch seam allowance on both sides. So it ends up to be about 2 inches going all the way around. And then I do have a backing here of the little polka dots as well. I just kind of carried it over to the back. Doesn't use too many fabrics. You've got your pink, you've got your reds, I've got a fuchsia here. I did another little pink with a little design on it, and then I decided to do something a little different in the middle, and then you have your corners that are going to be meeting together. So it's not too much of a fabric hogger, and you can really make something quick and easy and really, really simple. So let's get right to it. These are some of the fabrics that I used in this particular quilt or wall hanging. Really, really simple. You're going to want kind of either a cream color, or you're going to want maybe a white, and that's going to be your background pieces here. Okay, and you're also going to need that in order to do your half flying geese. So we have a half flying geese going on here on both sides. And then really this is just a 9 patch. That's all this is. It's just a 9 patch right here. You've got 2 half flying geeses going on in each set. You've got just 1 plain square that you're putting through. You've got a strip here, and then another little tiny 2.5 square block right there. So super, super easy to do. I'm going to show you how to do that. Again, these are the fabrics that I picked. I've got my creams, I've got red, I got this little bubble fabric that I thought was really cute, and that's what goes into that center design. And then I've got some polka dots on here. You may want to grab a couple of pinks, or you can basically do any color that you want, right? Like I have some pinks and fuchsias. You don't have to have that color. You could pick anything. Go into your craft room and look through your fabric scraps, okay? Because they're not really big pieces, so you should be able to just kind of use fabric scraps. Don't go to the store and start buying fabric. You can do this with fabric scraps. Now, the biggest piece is probably the backing that's here. That's what's going to be your biggest fabric hogger, is the backing for the whole thing. So this part in the front really is not that much, and then maybe the binding, but I did the binding and backing of the same fabric. So that's just a lot of fun to do. Okay, so let me see here. We've got a couple of cuts that we'll need to make, and I've already pre-cut all of my pieces just to kind of save you some time. And let's get on my little project bag here. It pretty much has everything that we're going to need for this particular project. And I'm going to kind of set my extra fabrics over to the side. So let me go ahead and get those pieces out. this is all you're gonna need just to make the one block. Okay, I've got everything kind of laid out here. Okay, so here we have, let's separate this. Here we go. We've got one square, and sorry, I have a little band-aid that keeps coming off. I'm just going to kind of take it off for right now. Should be fine. Okay, so I've got a little fabric here that's 1, 2, 3. It's a 4. It's 4.5 inches square. So you've got one piece of your ivory or white background, 4.5 inches square. You just need one piece of that. Then you're going to need two pieces of 2.5 by 10. Let me just double check here. Yeah, 10.5 inches. So two strips of 2.5 by 10.5. Okay, and then the rest of this is really 2.5 inch squares of what you're going to need. So you're going to need, let's see, 4 of the pinks. You're going to need 4 of the cream colored or white 2.5 inch squares. You're going to need, again, 4 pink, and then you're going to want another color, whether it be pink or whatever color you choose here, of 2.5 inch squares. And then you're going to need 1 and 2. So 2 more squares of something that you want to correspond with your quilt. So if you look at the quilt itself, you can see here, I've got that middle piece here, and then we've got the one here in the corner. So those are the 2 contrasting ones. You may want to make them the same. You can make them different. You can do it however you'd like. And then we have 2 pieces of 4.5 inches by 2.5 inches, and that's of the fuchsia. And then we're going to need 4 pieces of the pink as well, and this is 4.5 inch by 2.5 inch. So let me put all the sizes here together. These are all 2.5 inch squares. You've got your 2.5 by your 10.5, and then you've got here your 2.5 by 4.5. And then of course you've got your square, right? So super easy to do. Let's get started. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make my 9 patch. So if you look at the quilt itself, it's got that 9 patch. That's the first thing that you want to go ahead and do. So I'm going to go ahead and lay these out. Let's see if I'm going to move this over so you guys can see. Let me just lay this here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you want to grab your second stack and you want to lay those out here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now these have a little bit of a stripe, so I may want to kind of just coordinate this, and you know, I don't want one stripe going one way and one going across, or you can make it really scrappy and just leave it however you want it. And then you're going to want that inner piece, you know, that center piece. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it the way I have it on the board. I wasn't kind of too crazy about this red with the design, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it anyway, and just keep going for right now. So let me just move some of these other pieces over to the side until we can get to them. And let's get sewing. So I'm going to bring my machine over. And let's see. Let me set this up. And then I'm going to simply just sew a 9 patch. So you're just going to do right sides together, and we're going to line that up. And then I'm going to go ahead and sew that. So let me just grab here my little sewing foot, get myself all situated here, and I'll go ahead and put that together. I've got my bobbin in place. I'm using my thread. I'm just using a regular white thread, nothing special on here. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this down. Do we've got the sew cam on? Yeah, we do. Okay, awesome. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and do a 1/4 inch seam allowance on here. We're just going to do that 9 patch, so we'll do that real quick. While I'm doing that, you guys tell me how you're doing. How's your weekend? What was going on? Let me know if there's new stuff happening. I know everyone's talking about the whole Joann's thing, right? Joann's Fabric going out of business, bankruptcy. I mean, yeah, it's something. So I'm going to go ahead now that I've sewed these two together, got my 1/4 inch seam. Now, I normally like to press this, but I'm really pressed for time. So I'm going to go ahead and try to do this project until I absolutely need my iron. And I don't like to do that, but because of the time, I'm going to try to fly right through this. But if you're doing this at home, I would recommend to have that iron and go ahead and iron it after each one. Okay, so I've got my first piece right here. I'm going to go ahead and do the second row again, right sides together, line it up, and I'm going to do a 1/4 inch seam allowance right here. So let's bring that over. Make sure that I am nice and lined up here. It's a little off. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and go with the second. Now you notice how I bring everything kind of back to the table, back to the layout. Only because it can be really easy for you to sew things upside down or in the wrong place. So I always like to kind of bring the project back, lay it down, take a real quick look to see, okay, where is my next piece going and where do I have to lay it? So I am left-handed, so a lot of the times I do things sometimes maybe looks a little bit backwards to some people because it just makes more sense to do it that way to me. So I don't know, I think everybody has their little sewing quirkiness. I mean, I don't know, what's yours, right? Everyone has something that they like to do that's a little quirky, and that's okay. We like quirkiness, right? It just makes us more creative. So let me go ahead. I got that next one going. So there's 2 rows here. Then we have the last row right here. Right sides together. Make sure it's nice and even. And I'll go ahead and put that down. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead. Da-da-da. Last one over here. Put that one on the side here. Awesome. Okay. So here we are. You know, and with Valentine's, just like really literally around the corner, you know, this is a great little table topper that you can have. I think it's really cute, or you can have it as a wall hanging. Super, super cute. So, oh, Boricua Sewing and Crafts, there's my sister. She's saying, what sewing machine are you using? I am actually using the HC 1850. I do have the Brother SC 1900 behind me over here, but right now I'm using the Brother HC 1850. It was just literally what I could grab on hand. So that's what I'm using, but you can do this with any machine. Now, if you have a piecing machine, those are awesome. Those are really awesome to use because, again, these types of sewing machines that you can get, these are relatively low cost. It's not a very expensive machine, but it does give you a lot of options in terms of decorative stitches. It has a ton of decorative stitches that you can use, which is absolutely wonderful. But if you're looking for just quilting itself, then you may want to invest in a piecing machine. So what the difference is really on the plate itself. So in a piecing machine, you notice that, can we put the sew cam on so I can kind of show them that? I'm going to point this out. You'll see here, right underneath where the needle falls, you'll see the holes, right? You see that big hole where the needle kind of goes up and down. Now kind of take my foot off so you can see that here. So there is a long little rectangle looking area, and that is the hole where the needle goes up and down into to capture the thread on the bottom from the bobbin. Well, these types of machines are great because you have all these decorative stitches, but in order to have all the decorative stitches, you need to allow the needle room to be able to move around for different stitches, like let's say a zigzag stitch, right? Zigzag will have to move, the needle will move zigging and zagging away, so it needs to have that space to be able to go up and down in the throat plate. Well, with a piecing machine, you don't have that. You just have a circle, a tiny little circle, and so it's going to be much more narrower, and it will not have any decorative stitches. So it's a limited machine. So it's really, if you're into quilting, it's a perfect machine to get. And the reason I say that is because when you are comparing a machine that's specific for quilting and has that type of throat plate on there, it's really a difference when you're piecing. So one of the things that can happen, and does happen sometimes with this machine, is sometimes the fabric, because the hole is so big here, the fabric sometimes sinks inside. And so then you'll kind of get a little bird's nest thing going on, and it's just not, you know, working, and you'll have to stop, take it out, and kind of redo it. But it's not too much of a big deal once you kind of get used to it. But it is really amazing because with a piecing machine, you can really piece and do a lot of chain piecing, right? So it's like when you're doing one after another, that ability for the fabric to sink is eliminated because it has such a small little hole, and the only thing that fits in there is literally the needle. And so your fabric doesn't sink in there, so it doesn't cause the little issues that I'm talking about. So it's really nice to have these type of machines because of the decorative stitches, but it's really not ideal for piecing. But you can piece it with it. I'm not saying that you can't. It's just that you know, it makes it just so much easier if you have a machine that's specific for that. So that's kind of like my little take on it. So, you know, you do you, you know, whatever makes you more comfortable, but that's something that you may want to look at. Okay, so I'm doing this willy-nilly. No, I'm not pinning anything. I'm not ironing anything. So this is really scrappy, guys. This is really, we're going to see how this comes out. It may not be 100%, but that's okay. It's all about speed right now for me. So let's go ahead. I've just put right sides together on the rows, and we're going to just kind of sew these together. So let's do that. Now, I do want to make sure that my seams are nesting. So I do want to look for that, make sure that my seams are nice and nested, so that my points will be good. So I'm going to go ahead and, oops, sorry. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and check the next one, since I don't have any pins on here. You know, I want to try to be as accurate as I can be. And the project is a little bit forgiving because, you know, if you try to hit those points, which I did, I was able to hit the points, as you can see here. It's all good. You know, it's, if you can get close enough, it doesn't have to be exact. I mean, this is for you guys. This is a great project for you to practice with. And it's just, you know, a nice little gift that you can make someone as well. So let's go ahead and do the next row. There's one. Try to get the next one. I'm just kind of winging it, but we'll see how it comes out, right? Oop, I could have moved that a little bit better, but that's okay. Just gonna go with it. All right. So we've got our little 9 patch. Not too bad. It could have been a little better if I had the pins and the iron. You know, I really love to do a little bit of ironing. So let's go ahead. We've got our little 9 patch. That's all done. I'm going to move that over to the side because the second part that you're going to be working on is now the half flying geese. So this is the upper portions here that basically make the heart shape. So this is kind of like that rounded shape up on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and prepare these 2 pieces. So it's going to be one pink piece here, and we're going to attach one of the ivory, or if you're doing white, that's what you're going to be attaching here. So we're going to have one here, one here, one here, and one here. So a total of 4 pieces. So let's go ahead. I'm going to grab the pink ones. I need 4 of them. So I'm going to lay them out. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to grab my little squares, ivory or white. You're going to need 1 for each one, so just lay it on top there. Okay. And basically, what you're going to do is you're going to kind of create a little house. If you can see, the little points are kind of like coming up, across, and down. That's the little shape that you're going to be making. And it's really easy to do. So if you have a little pencil, which I'm going to I'm rushing through this, so I'm not going to go through every single piece, but if you have a pencil, I'll point it out with my little knitting needle here, you're going to want to draw a line corner to corner. So from one corner here, draw the line to the other corner. So you're going all the way across here. All right, so grab your little fabric marking pen and just go ahead and do the little line, or if you're like me, we're going to kind of just eyeball it. We're going to go ahead and draw the little line here, and I'm just going to eyeball it on my machine and just sew all the way across, because you're going to be sewing on that line. Now, the fun thing is, and this is where it gets a little, off, is you're going to be sewing this line coming this way, but you're not going to be sewing right on the line. You're going to be sewing a little bit off to the line, and you're going to be sewing it towards the center where you are folding the fabric. So let's say I drew this line going all the way across. I'm going to be sewing on this side here, just a little bit off, maybe like 1/8 of an inch off of where your drawn line is. And what that's going to do, it's going to allow the fabric to get a little bit of extra space that's going to be able to go over that thread, and you're going to be able to fold it coming all the way across. And what that will do, it will allow you to keep the shape of the rectangle itself. So let me just go ahead. So let me just show you once again. We're going to take this square here. We're going to draw the line going across. You're going to go ahead and sew right next to that line, closer to the angle where you'll be folding the square over to. And then once you've sewn it, we're going to go ahead and fold it across, and that's where we're going to have to grab our iron, and we'll end up with that piece here. So let me just go ahead and do that. And I'm going to get this on the machine. Here we go. I'm going to be sewing basically corner to corner. And this is one of the areas where you got to be looking out for your machine, because if you don't have a piecing machine, your fabric surely can sink into that little area that we were talking about before. So this is where usually I see the issues start coming around. So let's go ahead and do this. So I take it nice and slow. And there we go, corner to corner. Now, I'm going to go ahead and fold this over. And I'm going to fold it like that. So there's that little angle that I need, right? So this is a half flying geese, right? A flying geese would really have a second one on this side. This one's a half flying geese. So now let's do the same thing on the other side, but we're going to be flipping it the opposite direction. So we're going to go ahead and line this up here. Okay, you would do your little pencil mark from corner to corner going this way. Okay, we're going to bring that over to the sewing machine because we're going to be folding it going like this. Okay, so let me bring this over to the machine. Let's go ahead and sew that really quickly. Again, my drawn line, or my little fold, if you can see it, is just about here, and I'm going to be sewing just a little bit over where that drawn line is, or where that fold is. That's just going to allow me to have that little extra space that I'm going to need to get over the thread so that my points are going to look good. Okay, so here's that other piece. Again, here's going to be my fold. And I'm going to want to iron that once we get to it. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and plug this in now so that it'll be nice and ready for when we're ready to go. Okay. Now, this, you're just going to repeat this again. So let's just do that again here. We've got another set here that we'd have to do. Again, drawing the line corner to corner and sew 1/8 of an inch off. So in this case, it's going to be over on the left hand side of that line. That's where you're going to want to sew. So let's go ahead and move this. I'm going to turn it this way to make it easier on me. And here we go. I like to go nice and slow in the beginning because I know this machine sometimes can gather. Because again, this is not a piecing machine. So sometimes the fabric will tug underneath there. And try to avoid that as much as I can. So here's that little fold. Looks good there. And whoop, here's my other square. And again, I'm going to be going this way. So that's where my fold will be. And I want to draw my line corner to corner on here. Okay, so let's bring this over. And let's lay this down. Okay, how am I doing on time? Okay. Let's see, we're almost there, guys, believe it or not. So now, let me just move this over. I think my iron is ready. I'm going to go ahead and grab my iron here. Let me just bring this over. And I'm just going to iron this here. Make it nice and flat. You can see how really nice that turns out. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So all of your pieces, just go ahead and iron them. You want to make sure that that's folded over is nice and flat. So let's see. There was one that I wasn't too crazy about, but it'll work for now. And then I'm going to grab the 9 patch and just give it a quick little press here since we've got it out. Okay, move that over to the side. Now, what we're going to do is take that other 2.5 by 4.5 piece. I have this fuchsia, and I'm going to put that in the middle here. And that's what I'm going to be sewing. But before I do that, I'm going to grab my scissors. And one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of flip that fold right back over, because you'll notice you have all of this bulk underneath. We really don't need any of that. I'm going to go ahead and you can use a ruler and do about a 1/4 inch seam and just go ahead and cut that off. No one's really going to see it. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it for sake of time. And I'm going to go ahead and trim that off. So that will be out of the way, and then I'll fold it right back over. So you're still going to have your shape. You're just eliminating the bulk that's behind it. Okay. Here we go. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to cut that piece off. Let's see, what do you guys... Oh, fake or fake, don't rush, Nancy. We love the process. Oh, take your time. This is fun to watch. Oh, thank you, guys. I just, I want to be respectful for everyone's time. I know it's Saturday. People have things to do. So, I hate to kind of keep you guys over. So, I'm doing the best I can. I'm trying not to skip too many steps, but I think you guys, it's a pretty easy project. So I think you guys are kind of experts. You guys know how to do this. This should be simple. So let's just set this down. I've got a little dark thread that got stuck in here. See if I can pull it out. Yeah, maybe I got some of it. And then I'm going to grab this last one here. It wasn't too crazy how this one came out, but it will do for now. And I'm going to go ahead and cut that piece. So you can see I'm just kind of eyeballing it, about a 1/4 inch. It doesn't have to be perfect. No one's going to see this. By me doing this, I'm just basically eliminating the bulk so that when I sew it through my machine, I don't have so much bulk going through. Oh, Jenny says, I can watch you all day. Oh, thank you, guys. Okay, so I think now we're ready for our second scramble word. So if you guys may want to jot something down, you may be hearing a little tone coming out right about now. So if you see a second set of letters there, you may want to think about how you can unscramble that and kind of figure out what that word is. So that one's not going to be a giveaway. That one you got to figure out. So let's see who gets it. So, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm doing right sides together, and I'm going to go ahead and sew this together. So let me just grab this piece. I'm going back to my sewing machine. Really simple, 1/4 inch seam, nothing special. Lift up my needle there. Here we go. Okay. So that puts the fuchsia in the middle, and then you're going to want to do the other side. So we're going to put the other side in, right sides together. Again, you're getting that little house effect. So little corner to corner there, right? You're doing a little house almost. And I'm going to go ahead and sew that. Okay, and open that up here, and it's going to look a little awkward, not exactly it, but you want to have that little 1/4 inch seam, because when you start putting the block together, that 1/4 inch seam is actually going to disappear. So you can see here on my borders, the border eats up that piece. Okay, so that's why you're seeing that little extra piece that I have here. So this is, again, this piece right here. Okay, and you can see that I have that little extra lip that's kind of hanging up on the top. That's going to get eaten away with your seam allowance when you put in your border. So this is perfectly fine the way it is. Let me just grab my iron real quick, and I'm going to go ahead and give that a quick little press. Okay, there we go. And we've got one completed. Now let's go ahead and do the second one. I'm going to go ahead and put that together. Again, 1/4 inch seam. And let's bring that over to the machine. And then I'm going to open that up and put the second or the other side of the little house. And we're going to put that on top. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a seam allowance on that. How are you guys doing on unscrambling those words, huh? I think it's pretty easy. I think you guys will get it. When Donna says, when I look at a single heart, I see duplex houses with a shared courtyard. How crazy is that? Yeah, I guess you could see that, right? You've got little duplexes here. That's a good eye, Donna. Alrighty, let me go ahead and iron this piece really quick. Got my seam allowances going different ways here. Let's see. Okay. Alrighty. So, if you can see, we've already got most of this thing done, right? So we've got our heart, which is our little houses, right? You're going to put these side by side here, just kind of lay them out like this. Let me move this over so you can see a little bit. There we go. And then you're going to just take your 9 patch and put it right here. There you go, guys. You already have your heart. Your heart's already done. So now we're just going to kind of fill it in with the background, put some little borders on it, and we're going to create the rest of this block. And then you're just going to repeat it 3 more times. It's that simple. So now let's go ahead and grab your, I think it's 4-inch, let's see, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4.5-inch squared block in your cream or your ivory. You're going to want it to have the same color as you picked on your background. So that's going to be your background fabric. We're going to go ahead and sew this into place. And then we're going to work on these little inner borders here. So let's go ahead and get this in. I'm going to go ahead and just line it up. You can either sew it on this end or you can sew it on this end. It really doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and put it here, bring this to the sewing machine. Now it's right sides together, but since this is a plain fabric, it really doesn't matter which side, because it's both the same, right? So let's go ahead and put this in. Got here. And we're going to do a 1/4-inch seam. Okay. I'm going to give this just a quick little press again. Here we go. And you can cut your threads kind of along the way if you want to. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to go ahead and put these together. Now you could do it either way. I could do it this way or I could do it this way. Whatever works for you, right? So I'm going to go ahead actually. Yeah, I'm going to do these together because I want to line up these seams here. So I'm just basically eyeballing it, getting my seams here, lining them up. And then I'm bringing it to my machine and we're going to stitch that down. 1/4-inch seam allowance on that. Now, this is an opportunity if you have those fork pins, that would really help to nest your seams. If you don't, that's okay too. I've got my seams going here, and actually I want to twist it so that they're nesting. So I'm just kind of playing with my seam allowance here. And just double checking it because I'm not pinning it, I'm kind of just winging it. But let's see how this comes out, huh? Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna go in. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. There goes nothing, right? Who knows? We'll see how this comes out. Let me line this a little more. Checking that seam underneath. And hopefully we will hit it. Okay. Okay, not too bad. Could have stretched it just a tad more on that end, but it looks pretty good. Don't think anyone will even notice. So let's go ahead and iron this out. Pushing out the seams so it lays nice and flat. Okay. And then we got to bring these two together. So we're going to go ahead again, light up the seams. Let's see. And my iron kind of undid that seam, so let me just press it real quick. There we go. Okay. We're lining this up and we're going to give it a nice little seam here. These two go together. They're laying nice and flat, so I think we're okay. Let's go ahead and give this a whirl. Nope. Got a little bit of a seam, was trying to jump on me there, so a little off there, but that's okay. You can see how it likes to eat up the fabric. You gotta kind of slow it down a little bit. I get a little angsty and I like to kind of just go fast. So let me just double check my seams here. Close. Slow it down when you get to the seam and just double check. See if you're okay there. And then just roll with it. If it didn't come out right, you always have your trusty seam ripper, right? Like our little song goes, right? We all love that little seam ripper. It's our love-hate relationship. So here we are. Let me just kind of give it a quick press. I've got some threads to cut, but it's not too bad looking. It's not awful. Hobby could have been a little better had I picked pins and all that stuff. And now you're going to want to take... You're going to have two of these strips, right? So these are 10.5 by 2.5. So you're going to take this strip and you're going to just kind of grab that little extra square that you have. You're going to do right sides together and we're just going to sew a 1/4 inch seam. Just kind of putting those two together. Kind of moved it here a little bit. So line that up. Quick 1/4 inch seam. Okay. And then I can give this just a quick little press. I can finger press it, but I've already got the iron on, so I might as well just hit it real quick. Okay, and then so all you're gonna do, guys, super easy. We've only got 2 little pieces left. We're gonna lay out one of them, going this way. Let me move this over. Can you guys see that? Let me scoot this over a little bit. Oh, your granddaughter is asking where the bird is. Oh, LA Garrity, they are in the cage. I don't know if you guys could hear them, but they're chirping away. I don't know what was going on last night, but they were like having conversations all night. I literally turned all the lights off and they just kept chirping and chirping, and I was like, what are they talking about? Because it was pretty late and that's not normal for them. Usually sun goes down, it starts getting dark, and they get really quiet. But last night they were having some kind of party. I don't know what was going on. I really don't get it. But they were just chatting away last night, and they're pretty tired this morning. I don't know what was happening. I mean, it was something. Some kind of party that was going on. They just wouldn't tell me. I don't know what it is. So they're in the cage. I didn't bring her out today. But we'll probably bring them out at another time. They're kind of hard to kind of keep them settled because once they're not babies anymore and they really discover, hey, I can fly, they don't like to sit still. And they're really finicky. Any little thing kind of spooks them, so they'll fly off. So I could have them here, but they'll probably be flying around in my craft room. And I don't know if I want that. So I'll try to show them every now and then. But yeah, I don't know what was going on last night. Because yeah, they were having a party. I don't get it. So anyway, I took this fabric right size together. We're going to give it another 1/4 inch seam right here. So let's go ahead and do that. Had to move my sewing machine over, so let me try to bring it a little closer to me here. We'll go ahead and put this. But that's so cute. She asked about the birds. Oh, how adorable. Well, just let her know. What I can do is I'll put a little picture on Facebook for her. How's that? Tell her she can look in Facebook and she'll see the pretty little picture. I have to see which one I can grab to get in here. They get finicky, them, but they were talking away last night. I don't know what was going on with them. Anyway, yeah. So let's go ahead and fold this back. I'm going to grab my iron here. Put this with a little bit of a press there. Whoops. Bring it down this way. And I got the final piece here, guys. Just line it up here. We're going to go ahead, right size together, 1/4 inch seam, and that's going to be our block. See how quick that went? Oh my God. I mean, you could literally make this in a couple of hours. It's really that simple. The only thing you want to look out for on this last strip is you want to make sure that you're lining up your seams here on this end, because you want to make sure that that's all nice and lined up. So you are looking at your seams on this last piece. So just nest them. Make sure that they are laying nice and flat and playing nicely. And let's see. Oop, had to move that a little bit. Go ahead and leave it about there. That should be fine. The project is really forgiving, guys. It's really not too bad. I mean, look, I did this really scrappy. I didn't really iron every piece. I didn't pin every piece. And it's still going to be great. Even if you're off just slightly, it will be hidden by the seam allowance, so you don't have to worry about it. And there we go. Oops, so sorry, guys. Hit that sew cam a little bit there. Alrighty. Now, let me just fold this over. I'm gonna bring the sewing machine kind of out of the way here. And let's just give it a quick little press. Here we go. Oh, I see. Yes. So my brother-in-law, or my sister's husband, is retiring, and I'm so excited for him. So he's actually celebrating because his last week is next week. So shout out to him, guys. Put some congratulatory stuff out in the chat. Really, really nice. He is actually retiring. How exciting is that, right? Alrighty, so this is our block, guys. Here we are. We did it, okay? And you can see here that the block will fit right here. You guys see that? Let me see if I can get my arm out of the way. So this is the block right here. This is just one square. You'll do this 3 more times. And then all you're going to do is line them up and give it a nice little seam in the end, and your points here on the end will meet, and you'll have a beautiful little table topper or wall hanging. You can add the border if you like. I went ahead and did a 2.5 inch border, and then I did the backing fabric that I used, which is just a cute little polka dot. So it's really cute, really fun to make. super, super easy. So what you think, guys? I mean, cute little Valentine idea for you. If you're looking for just something to do really quick and you don't have too much time like me. So this is what I was able to kind of whip up. And we did it in like an hour, right? Awesome. All right. So your third word is coming out there. So go ahead and take a look at the third word. And you guys are going to have to unscramble that one. You know, it should be pretty easy, guys. These are all kind of terms that we are all, you know, just really familiar with. So you should be able to unscramble this word. And if you guys tuned in late, go ahead and hit hashtag GiftsHQ. You know, you gotta know what those scrambled words are. We've got 3 words. I gave you the first one, right? The first one was the word. I already forgot it. Let's see. We've already unscrambled it. The first one was quilt, right? So you got to figure out what the last 2 words were, and we've kind of displayed them throughout this hour. So you guys should be able to now just take those words and unscramble them. And, you know, you can unscramble those words, and I made a whole quilt block. So come on, guys. You can do this. It's really, really easy. And it's really a lot of fun to do. So I hope you guys really enjoy it. Again, if you're looking at the ends here, remember, this is what gets eaten up in the seam allowance. So once you start building the other blocks and you put the border in, this is going to get eaten up by the seam allowance, and you're going to see it nice and flat here on the ends. Okay. So really, really neat. Okay, so you've got all 3 of the words, and we are just about up on our hour. I told you guys we'll run a little bit over. So thanks for kind of sticking on here with me and, you know, just going through this. So let's see. So what do we have next? Well, you know what? We need to pick who our participant is going to be. So you've got all 3 words. Hopefully you've unscrambled them by now. And so we've got to go ahead and pick who our participant is going to be. So if you did your hashtag GiftsHQ, you should see your little name on the little wheel here. And we're going to be spinning the wheel, and we're going to be picking a participant, and we're going to ask that person to go ahead and you're going to go ahead and you're going to type all 3 words into the chat. Now, remember, you must be a subscriber and you must be present. So hopefully you guys are here. And if you're watching this on the replay, sorry, this is just for the guys that are here for the live. You know, join us on the live. It's more fun. But let's go ahead and spin that wheel, and let's see who our participant's going to be. Here we go. Round and round it's going. Who is it going to pick the wheels of smile? And it looks like it's Yvonne Hudson. All right, Yvonne Hudson. So you are our participant. So Yvonne, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and type in all 3 words that we have displayed earlier. So you should have unscrambled them. Not scrambled, you gotta have unscrambled. And go ahead and type it in. Type it into the chat. You need to have all 3 words. And then while she's doing that, I'm gonna let you guys know what the prize is, right? So what are we all playing for? So while we are waiting on Yvonne to go ahead and put that into the chat, you have a chance to win a Riley Blake Designs by Lori Holt charm pack. This is a 5-inch charm pack. It's 100% cotton, and the pattern is called Bee Plaids. Really cute, super cute colors, really in tune with kind of like the Valentine colors. So let's see, Yvonne. If you're here, Yvonne, I see it in the chat, Yvonne. I need you to type in those 3 words. So let's go ahead and wait on Yvonne. If you can type in those 3 words and see if she has won this. So again, we're going to try to do all kinds of different fun things during our Saturday craft afternoons and make it more interactive. I know you guys love the trivia, and the trivia was great. It was a lot of work, I have to admit, but hopefully you guys really will like these other games that we're going to be playing, and they're more interactive with you. Oh, Yvonne, you don't have all the words. Oh no, going once, going twice. She doesn't have all the words. Okay, you know what? Okay, so Yvonne doesn't have the words, so we're gonna pick another participant then. Sorry, Yvonne. Oh no. Let's try this again. Let's spin that wheel. We've got the wheel of smiles going on, and let's pick someone. Hopefully that will have the words. Who do we have here? We have Angela and Stitches. So Angela and Stitches, if you are here, go ahead and type in the 3 unscrambled words. So go ahead and type that into the chat, and hopefully we'll be able to give this away. I'm really excited, guys. This is a Riley Blake design by Lori Holt, and it's really a lot of fun. I love her designs. They've got some quality fabrics. It's really, really neat. Okay, Angela and Stitches said quilt block thread, and that is 100% correct. Awesome, we have a winner. Yay! How exciting. Thank you, Angela and Stitches. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, Angela and Stitches, I'm going to need you to send me an email. Okay, send me an email with your email address, with your mailing address, so we can get that prize out to you, and we'll get that out as soon as we can. But congratulations, lots and lots of fun. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Awesome, awesome. Everyone's congratulating Angela. Yay, we have a winner. Yay. Really, really exciting. I love it. All right, so today we were able to make our little quilt blocks. I gave you some instructions to make it as a wall hanging, or you can have it as a cute little table topper. Really, really neat. And, you know, I think we had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. I really enjoy having these Saturday Crafternoons. I think they're just a lot of fun to do, and they keep me on my toes. So thank you guys for all of your support and tuning in today and spending this time with me. I really appreciate it. Love you guys all. Please don't forget to go ahead and hit that like button if you had a great time with me today. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope to be crafting with you soon. Bye, everyone.
Nancy with GiftsHQ makes crafting videos, creating with passion and a love for what she sews. Crochet, quilting, and sewing, crafting is what she knows. Making smiles one craft at a time. Your talent will grow with every stitch and every thread she weaves her art. Her hands create something special straight from the heart. And as the colors come alive, the joy spreads near and far. Nancy and her gifted crafters, bringing joy